Veronica,
Coach, really rough game. What happened out there?
basically, we didn't show up. That's on me, the coach. We weren't prepared, and fundamentally, we just didn't show up. Betty,
The offense didn't play too well today. What's up with that?
well, like the coach said, we didn't show up. I had a bad day. I got to do a lot better, and I got to lead. I got to lead the team, but basically, we all need to show up. Hey, this is Steve from LZ23 Strength, where we exert ourselves, we elevate and evolve in mind and body. Have you ever seen a press conference like one we just simulated? Probably pretty badly, but hopefully made you laugh and smile a little bit. But have you ever heard professional athletes say that expression, we just didn't show up? It's kind of hard to fathom when they're making millions of dollars and playing a sport or a game and not showing up. But we can learn from that because in everyday life, and especially our goal for our health span and longevity, not showing up consistently, we're going to see the bad effects of it. Where contrast that we try to show up regularly, consistently, persistently, it's going to make a big difference in how we feel, how we look, how we age, and how we enjoy life. So basically, that's the concept. What it means to show up is to be consistently present and engaged, committed to a task, even if it's challenging or difficult, or even if we kind of suck at it, that we're going to put the time in, we're going to put the effort in on a daily basis, mentally, emotionally, physically, to do the best we can. And if you have a show up mindset, it's going to manifest itself in a whole variety of ways. So let's first talk about the physical benefits. There's health benefits to having that show up every day, determined, consistent effort every day. It's going to improve our overall health and longevity. And we know today, if you just look at the world in general, it's safe to say, I don't want to sound mean, but I think it's safe to say that most people don't have a show up mindset and they're not showing up. And that's why we have so many individuals that are immobile. I've talked about this in other videos. If you just look around on a daily basis, people that are having to drive around in scooters and in stores, and you just tell the way people carry themselves and walk that physically they just don't have the mobility or strength. They're not showing up. So throw in different diseases that are plaguing mankind, that they're not all inevitable. We have something that we can do to fight back, and that's showing up every day. So if we show up every day, we're going to have improved health and longevity. Our immune function will be enhanced. And think about this time of the year, aside from COVID and flus and other viruses, that colds that people catch, we want a strong immune system so we're not dealing with those kind of issues as well. Better stress management. We talk about our physical health, but quality of life involves our emotional health, and we don't want to be dealing with depression and anxiety. And stress itself will also show itself up in physical ways too. But showing up, we can take care of ourselves in a whole number of ways. Mental and emotional, as I just mentioned, we want to be able to cope, our coping skills to be good. There's so many things that we're affected by on a daily basis, we're bombarded by, that we want to have mental toughness to be able to deal with setbacks and hardships that come up and trials. And having a showing up mindset can help us to increase and build resilience. That, okay, we might stumble, we might fall, but we're going to pick ourselves back up and keep going. It can help us to have better self-esteem and confidence in ourselves and in our abilities, what we can do, what we can achieve. And that's vital moving forward. As I mentioned, reduced risk of depression and anxiety. We won't always be telling ourselves negative things that I'm not good enough or I can't do this or that. So showing up can help in that area, and as well as stronger relationships and social support, us supporting others and others supporting us. And remember, that's one of the pillars. So just as a reminder, the 4 pillars are exercise and movement, training, strength training, sleep, diet and nutrition, and relationships, our friendships, sense of purpose. So all these things are going to improve as we have that show up mindset that every day, and it's not big things. It's not like we climb Mount Everest and then we're done. No, there are consistent daily small things that we show up for and put our best foot forward, so to speak, that's going to improve and help us along the way. And as I mentioned, sleep, that's a vital one of the 4 pillars. And this is all going to help us even in that area. And that drives long-term success. We're not just trying to get through the day or get through the week, but these are like stepping stones and building blocks so that we have that long-term success when it comes to aging and health span and longevity. Some key aspects regarding that is knowing that we might plan to do things and even those 4 pillars that I mentioned, we might have goals and plans that we do that. Kind of makes me think of Mike Tyson had a saying, which actually I think goes back to Joe Louis, if I'm not mistaken, but I remember it from Mike Tyson, and it's pretty good. It says that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So that's going to happen. Life's going to punch us in the mouth or punch us in the face. What are we going to do? How are we going to respond? Well, the mindset of showing up, we're going to get over that. We're still going to show up. So one day life punches us in the stomach or in the mouth or in the face. The next day we're going to get up and get right back at it. That's what showing up means. Mind over matter, pushing forward through boredom, tiredness, extreme trials. We're going to keep going. And it helps build discipline. And I've talked in a recent video about the 7 habits of highly disciplined people, or disciplined people that are very successful. And certainly that's going to help us in that area. Also, showing up, it helps us to foster a positive outlook. And when you have a positive attitude, it has all kinds of benefits. It can help lower blood pressure, for example. People with a positive attitude tend to live longer, and the risk of premature death goes down for people who are positive. Even things like injuries or illnesses or surgeries, people who have a positive outlook and a positive attitude, they recover quicker and better from these things than individuals who are always looking at the downside or have a negative outlook. So fostering that positive attitude is vital, and showing up every day, that's certainly going to help us. As I mentioned before, the reducing depression and anxiety, our quality of life. A lot of times I'm talking about the future, that we want our health span as we age. I'm 61 now and talking about retirement and how I'm going to feel in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But even today, we're benefited by these things. So we want to take ownership of our life. We want to take ownership, and we do that by showing up. We don't want to just have life happen to us. We want to take control as much as we can. Obviously, we can only do so much. We're tiny, imperfect humans on this big planet, in this big universe, but we want to try to shape our own path. We don't want to be a passive bystander, or even worse, just somebody sitting in the crowd watching as everything happens. We want to make life happen, and showing up will help us to do that. And as we show up on a daily basis, it's going to affect our behavior. We'll have healthier habits. They'll come naturally, and from exercise to what we're eating, and we can build momentum. And going back to the beginning when I talked about the coach and the quarterback, just think the teams that get to the Super Bowl, they show up on a daily basis, not just during the season, not just during the playoffs, and they don't accidentally get to the Super Bowl. There's so much put forth in showing up from the off season and how they take care of their bodies and how they're learning plays and strategies, and everybody in their organization on the professional level, let's say the NFL, all summer before the season starts, they're doing things, they're showing up, they're taking care of their bodies, they're practicing. So everybody from the players to the coaches to the trainers to the executive team, people who take care of the stadium, everybody is showing up, and that's the attitude that we want to have. We want to show up consistently, and we want to enjoy the ride. Um, I'm going to talk about something that you might not think of, but how much I love music and bringing up Miley Cyrus. Some people have different viewpoints of her, but she has a song called "The Climb," and I think it's a good song. I enjoy it. But the message behind it, that we want to enjoy the climb and appreciate the journey to get where we want to be. We want to enjoy the ride to the destination. It's not just the destination. It's not just arriving, but we want to enjoy the effort that it takes to get there, and that's where showing up comes into play. Having that mindset that we're going to show up. The process, the climb, that's going to mean a lot to us, and we want to enjoy that on a daily basis, and that'll keep motivating as we go forward on a daily and a weekly basis. And you want to show up for yourself. The way I might illustrate this or compare this is when you're on an airplane and they give you all the safety precautions. Well, when they're talking about the oxygen mask coming down, remember they always stress, put the mask on first for yourself before you can help your children or help other individuals. So that's what's showing up. We got to show up for ourselves first. We need to love ourselves. Obviously, that can get carried away. People can have a overly inflated view of themselves, and we're not talking about that, but you need to love yourself enough to put forth the effort. You need to love yourself enough to show up on a daily basis when it comes to things like walking every day, preparing healthy meals for the work week, saying no to the donuts at work, going to the gym when you're tired. We need to love ourselves enough to show up and do those things and realize we're not going to be perfect. As I did the beginning there with the coach and the quarterback, yeah, maybe there's sometimes we don't show up, we don't feel like showing up, we're a constant work in progress. But we want the majority of the time to be individuals who show up on a daily basis. And as I mentioned, the majority of people, it seems evident that they're not doing that. All the statistics about people being sedentary, the rise in all kinds of sicknesses and diseases, and cognitively too, seems like people are just kind of going through the motions daily and letting life happen to them. Don't let that be you. You be the one who's going to show up. You be the example to your friends, your children, your family. Not going to do it perfectly. And there's going to be times where people say, why are you doing this? Why are you working so hard? Why are you taking this so seriously? Take it easy a little bit. Then you're going to have the flip side where other people say, why aren't you doing enough? You need to work harder. You shouldn't eat that. What are you doing? So you're going to hear all kinds of voices and criticisms, good, bad, do more, do less, but show up for yourself and you will reap the benefits in your health span and longevity, and hopefully be able to influence others and help others. So I appreciate you watching, and remember to show up daily, exert yourself, elevate your health, evolve in mind and body on a daily basis. Show up and do those things, and you'll have no regrets. You won't regret doing it. Please smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Have a super day.